This is the 2025 Porsche Cayenne S. Is it the ultimate performance two-row SUV? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. Today we're back at Porsche Shreveport and we're going to go over the particulars on this 25 version of the Cayenne. We're going to let Austin go ahead and do a quick walk around for you and show you what all is here. I really like the design here. I know this hasn't been changed for a few years, but it still has a very, number one, Porsche-like look, as you would expect. But when you look at it, it looks like it should be fast. It looks like it should handle extremely well, and obviously it does. The white exterior color works really well here with these nice black rims and the red brake calipers. As we work our way around here to the front, I'm going to have Austin join me here at the front end. When you look at it, you know that it's a Porsche. The design of the headlight housing definitely tells us that. I like the design of the headlights here. Not something that's common. That's something I really like about Porsche's models and how they don't look like really anything else outside of the Porsche brand out on the road. Now you'll find your headlights and your daytime running lights, everything is LED, and then our LED turn signal is going to be located right down here. And everything is active. We have an active air curtain that allows air to flow through the front end. Hopefully you can see that daylight right there. I don't know if you can see that very well. As we work our way up, we do have that clamshell look with the hood here, but it works. It fits. The lines work. There's our Porsche crest. And obviously this model is going to be all-wheel drive. And how about our tire and wheel setup? 285 on the width for your tread, a 45 series sidewall, and a 21-inch wheel on the front end. As we go to the back, we're going to have a little bit of a different size. The width increases to 315. We're going to have a 40 series sidewall, but again wrapped around the 21-inch wheels. And we'll work our way back up here to the side view mirrors. Literally everything I know everybody's looking for with their side view mirrors. Number one, turn signal indicators are going to be built in. Those are nice and bright. You will have the body colored mirror caps. They're power adjustable. They're heated. You also have your blind spot monitoring right here. And let me change places here with Austin so I can show this to you in action. I'm going to go in here and push a button that will allow you to see that these are also power folding side view mirrors. Now that's going to cover literally everything. Now one thing about that, when you push that button, push it and then wait. It doesn't happen just like that. I know I've done that a few times, so it might seem like, why isn't it working? Well, it is going to work. You just push the button one time and just give it time to do its thing. The remote looking like a car, obviously that's nothing unusual, and then there is what you have as far as your features and functionality go. A very nice light remote, but it's sturdy. Have your Porsche crest right there. And then we're gonna have a panoramic sunroof. We'll give you a better look at that from the interior later on. But the lines here really do a great job of telling you that this is a high-performance SUV. Working our way to our rear roof spoiler here. And here's something that's interesting. This back window is a little bit dirty from sitting still. The purpose of a rear roof spoiler like this is to actually channel wind over this rear window when you're in motion to keep that clean. But when you need it, there's also the rear window wiper. And one of my favorite things that you see on these Porsche models is the fact with your LED taillights is that you have the light running all the way across instead of having a break in the middle that's just a dark area. That looks nice. I like the way that looks, that seamless light, so to speak. The Porsche logo right beneath that, and then the perfect color for the Cayenne S logo right here. And last but not least, we're going to have our quad tip exhaust back here. That is fully active exhaust, no faux exhaust. Let's get rid of that tongue twist early in the video. No faux exhaust on any Porsches out there. And what ultimately makes this the Cayenne S is what you find under the hood. No shortage of power and torque. It's the 4-liter twin-turbo V8, 468 horsepower and 442 pounds-feet of torque. Made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Your MPGs come in at 16 city, 21 highway, 18 combined, and 5.6 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. And with all that horsepower and torque under the hood, one thing that might be helpful to know is how big is your gas tank? It's 23.7 gallons, and You have your gas cap right here as opposed to capless fuel fill. One thing you might want to also do is get an exhaust clip and see what this 4-liter V8 sounds like. Here you go. And how about practical use such as towing and hauling? You can do that here, 7,716 pounds. You do have a motion sensor under the bumper right there. As you can see, you can just kick your foot under there to gain access to your cargo capacity. And how much is that cargo capacity? 27.3 cubic feet up to 60.3 cubic feet. You can see everything is maximized right there. Now the cargo cover right here can be useful if you want to conceal everything away, or you can actually take that out and maximize your cargo space so you're not limited on what you can put in there. Easy to deal with. You can lower those seats by just using the release on the sides. And right here, we can raise and lower the rear of the vehicle. So I'm going to go ahead and raise it up and just show you how everything looks. We do have air suspension here. A little slow to raise, but maybe you can see there's a little bit of a difference right there. If I want to lower it back down, I just push that button on the bottom and it lowers the rear. That can help a lot in loading and offloading cargo depending on what your situation is and what you need. And there is something that should make a lot of people very happy. You do have a spare tire in the event that you need that. Also, all the tools to change it. And going back to the doors, this is going to be all 4 doors. They're also soft close. I'll let Austin demonstrate that for you real quick so you can see how that works. When you close the doors, you don't have to slam them shut. The Cayenne will go ahead and take care of all of that for you. The seats do have some recline built into them. I don't think anybody is going to sit in this area with the seat backs like this. I'll just recline that all the way back. It's actually quite comfortable and quite roomy back here. The release to do that is on the bottom of the seat on the side right there, so you can see that. That's also when you maximize your cargo space, you pull on that to lower the seat backs down, and you're gonna have to pull on that to do the same thing to put the seat backs back in place right here. Take a quick look here at the armrest with the cup holders built in. My favorite design because the cup holders are vertical as opposed to parallel to each other. That way, when there's a cup in each one, the rear seat passengers can still use this area as an armrest. And that's not the only armrest here. We also have that on the door panel right there. Quite a bit of space, very comfortable. You'll also see that we have a very large door bin there as well. And we do have 4 zones of climate control, 2 in the front and these 2 in the rear. There are also heated seats back here for your rear seat passengers. We have connectivity in the way of a 12-volt power outlet and obviously some USB connection as well. There's a lot of space back here. I'm very comfortable not only with my head space, but with my leg room. Plenty of space there. You do have a little bit of storage on the back of the seats that's going to help out. And you can actually move these seats back and forth depending on if there's something in the rear cargo area that might take up a little bit more space. The seats can move up. And I told you about the panoramic sunroof earlier. Now you can see it for yourself. That front portion will open, and there's also a shade right here. It's obviously retracted right now, but we can bring that forward to keep from having too much sunlight and too much heat coming into the interior. And how about the sticker price? $137,705. Austin will give you the $5 when you come in to buy this model. I guess he would shake his head yes if I gave him a raise. I got myself in trouble on that, didn't I? All right, let's talk about the door panel over there on the passenger side. And I like that you have seat memory. If you're gonna have it on the driver's side, you might as well have it on the passenger side. At this price point, you really should. But it definitely works. Nice large armrest, as you would expect, a little bit more space than what we had on the rear, and there is a much larger door bin here in the front than what we had in the rear. And something that's interesting here is the screen that Austin has in front of him. Now you can see that really well unless you're looking from my perspective, and there's a reason why that is set up that way. because you can actually watch YouTube videos and I'm sure other things on there. That's to keep the driver from being distracted. So a pretty cool setup as far as that goes. We'll open the glove box underneath. Maybe not as fascinating, but you know what? It's there. We might as well show it to you. There is your glove box. No gloves in the glove box, but that's the space you have. And I'll grab the camera myself real fast so that we can show you what's going on over here with having to reach too far. Here is everything for controlling your side view mirrors. And you can see right there is the button that I pushed to fold those in. In fact, let me show this to you real fast. I push it. Now it folds pretty fast, but I push it and see how it takes a second or so for it to actually start to move. Seat memory over here as well. And here is everything for your power windows. I think you know what all is there. Now you can leave your headlights and your taillights, all your lighting on the exterior, on auto right there if you want to, or you can actually turn those on yourself. Just hold that down like that, or we can go to auto. And here's something pretty cool as well. You'll also have the night view when your lights are on if you want to do that, or we can go to our daytime view as well. Just to show you some of the options that are here. And classic Porsche, your start-stop button for the engine is right here to turn it on and turn it off. Something that I know I still have to get used to a degree because I haven't done enough of these Porsches just yet. As is the case with the shifter, I actually used the lever right here for the windshield wipers and rear window wiper. But this is something that's universal and it comes on every Cayenne model, whether it's an S or any other model. And it's the turn signal indicator lever that a lot of people struggle to use. But I want you to notice something. I'm using that the same way I would when I'm on the road. But you know what? It's not hurting me. My health is still intact. It doesn't hurt anything to use your blinkers. Yes, for those of us who use our blinkers, we can laugh at the people who don't, who are probably offended by what I just said. But it's all right to laugh. Here's everything for your cruise control right underneath that. Make sure you don't get those confused. And right down here, first of all, let's just look at our steering wheel mounted controls. Not a lot to tell you about there. I think you know what is what. But here is our drive mode selector, and there's a few different things you can do here. First of all, we're going to have our normal mode right here. That's what you're going to default to. We have off-road mode, something that people never thought of with a Porsche many years ago. And then we go back up and we go to sport mode, and that changes the exhaust note. Hopefully you can hear that. You can also go down to Sport Plus. And when you push this button, if you need to pass slower moving traffic or whatever the case is, here's what happens. We're going to have our Sport Response mode come up, and it gives you 20 seconds with extra horsepower. And here's something for you that might be an interesting note. Notice I'm in normal mode. You can see that right down here. But you can use your Sport Response in all driving modes. See, it still works right there. Now you can see that the navigation is built in if you want to use that on your infotainment screen, or excuse me, on your instrument cluster, your driver's display. We also have our shifter paddles located here on the rear of the steering wheel. We'll move over here to our center screen, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. If you need to pair your phone, you do that wirelessly. And then you can see I just changed my driving mode a little bit. In fact, we can go in and change right here if we want to as well. Just one of the interesting little options that come up. But you can wirelessly pair your smartphone. You have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You do have your built-in navigation here on your center screen as well. Quite a bit going on here. We're not going to talk about everything, but you can go into your settings and make a lot of different changes depending on what you want to do. You can go in here to displays and make changes there as well. So you have your central display, your instrument cluster. You want to go in, you can change that. We can customize our view or configure. We can change brightness. We can change what's on the screen. But again, like I said, we're not going to spend a lot of time on everything. I hope I'm not going too fast for anybody. But just to go over a quick tutorial or demonstration of what is here. Now we can go to vehicle and see what all is there. So if you want to change the chassis from Sport to Sport Plus, you can do that, or you can leave it in normal. But the thing here is that you can go with a few different things. You can go with a different drive mode than you have your chassis set up right there. Just to show you a little bit of what you have. As far as your assistance goes, we're going to go right here and see what all we have. Now we're going to have quite a few safety features. I'm just going to run through this very quickly here. You might want to pause the video at certain points if I go a little too fast for you, but just to show you some of those great safety features that help you out on the road. Obviously trip, you know what's there, but you can see the information that shows up on the screen, and that's not all we have. So I'm going to show you what else is here. We notice we have 4 different screens that we can go through with information, and then we can go right here to comfort. Here's what all you're going to have. There's your ambient lighting. You can make settings with the driver's seat. There's a lot going on here. And if I go into reverse, we can see our camera views. We have quite a few different views on and around the Cayenne. I like being able to see everywhere we need to see. And if you're wondering what's concealed away under here, you can't feel this for yourself, but I can tell you about it. You have an air-conditioned wireless phone charger. If you put your hand down there, you can actually feel the air. So you'll have to get into your own Cayenne to do that. You also have a couple of USB ports right there. And then back here, we have the controls for our dual zone climate control and our heated and ventilated seats. I don't know how well you can hear that, but you actually have that feedback, that haptic response that let you know that you're doing what you need to do with that. You can sync those together. Again, you can hear the sound. I like that. And there is our control for the radio for volume and turning that on and off. You do also have heated seats right here, by the way, in case you were curious about that. But we don't need those right now. We will in a few days. A little bit of storage space right there. Be careful how you reach around there, because you could fingerprint up your gloss black finish or piano black. We also have a 12-volt power outlet right here, along with the cup holders, a couple of cup holders right there. And the lid for the center console that actually doubles as an armrest. I can open that up and show you the space that is within that area. That's not the only console we have. We also have an upper console. Now here's what you use to open and close the sunroof. This is what you use to open and close the shade for the sunroof. So if I select right here, there we go, the shade is going to open. And then I can stop that if I want to, and then close it again with that front feature on there, that front button on there. It's pretty simple to figure out, pretty easy to deal with. I don't know how well you can see it because of the bright Louisiana sunshine today. You also have a head-up display. When it comes to driving the Cayenne, if you're looking for the ultimate fun factor, well, I definitely would have to recommend you go with the S model, as such as what we have today, not only because of the fun, but the sound. Let's just slow down a little bit here. I'm hardly even into it. That sounds really good. I don't want to get too many RPMs going, but I tell you what, classic exhaust sound from a Porsche, at least with the V8 under the hood. I really, really enjoy that sound. It's very unique compared to a lot of other V8s that are out there in other models. And we'll get on down the road here and a little more fun. It handles the corners very well, which is no surprise. At the same time, you still have a nice ride quality, which obviously you can adjust depending on your desires. Get a little bit of an exhaust sound there from the downshifts. But when it comes to just being practical, you most certainly have that here. A very practical vehicle. You can tow, you can haul. There's room for up to 5 people here in the interior. So a lot of good practical use for the family road trips, whatever the case is that you need to do. You've got space back there for luggage. And the technology here is super simple to learn and to use. It's easy to get to everything. I always like a vehicle that has a very enjoyable interior to navigate. And that's something you definitely have here in this particular case, because everything is right here, literally at the driver's fingertips. That's always something that's welcome. But overall, I'd say a very well-rounded vehicle. We'll see what our turning radius is like right here. There we go, I made the turn. And looking up at the windshield right now, I know you can't see it, but I can. The head-up display is nice and bright. So as far as being a fun, high-performance SUV to drive, it definitely ticks off the boxes. Might surprise a few people on the road who don't know what they're looking at if they come up next to you at a red light and think you're going to be a slowpoke. And there it is, the 2025 Porsche Cayenne S. Is it the ultimate two-row performance SUV? Tell me what you think down in the comments section. I do want to say a special thanks to our friends here at Porsche Shreveport for loaning us this Cayenne for the day so we can tell you all about it. And a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give us the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. That's very helpful to us. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos, and share this video on your timelines on social media so other people can see it. If you'd like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and we'll see you there.